Hey, welcome back to the show. Hope you all doing well, wherever you are and whatever time of day it is. We're going to be bringing you the latest in AI stories that we've picked up today and just have a quick chat about them and discuss. Will's got an interesting one to share with you in a moment. But before we dive in, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Really, really appreciate it. If you're watching on Will's channel, listen, don't forget, come and find us on the Ava Technologies channel as well, because Will's doing really well. He's getting loads of views, which is brilliant. I'm being really bad because I'm supposed to be posting it on my channel and I'm just getting a bit busy. So, there's no excuses, of course. But listen, come over to the Ava Technology show, give us a like, subscribe, say hello. It'd be great to help build up the show and the channel and all the rest of it. So, sorry, Will, just to pull your...
No.
It's over. Well, that just literally came to me as I was speaking. So I'm sorry about that.
It's a good point because we were talking about it yesterday and time gets away with me. It's very easy to record one of these, quickly edit it and just drag and drop it in, and we're saying we need to create some differentiation between the channels, which we will do obviously as these channels grow and we have more time to do so. But for now, absolutely, it's on my channel, and if you're watching it on my channel, or if you're watching it in Ben's channel, because he will get around to uploading it, then do come over to Ava Technologies, because this is the Ava Technology show. We just cross-pollinate and try and grow the audiences everywhere. So yeah, check whichever channel you're viewing it on, go and check out the other channels, whether that's me, that's Ben, that's Ava Technologies. Yeah, do it. And yeah, you ready to jump into the story?
Let's do it.
Let me share my screen as always. And this is the OpenAI DevDay, which is something that happens every year. It's a big period of time where OpenAI allocate a lot of time releasing exciting new things to the world. And this is no different. They've got a lot of things on the table. You can see old Sam Altman here doing his opening keynote. And I'll scroll right on past that and I'll get to what they have announced. And obviously we've talked about Sora 2, however they've just released it as an API, so that's less interesting. Codex we've talked about, GPT-5 we've talked about. But these two we have not, which is apps in ChatGPT and AgentKit. So let me go into the apps in ChatGPT, because I think this is the most interesting one. And I'll let this video just run for a little bit as I talk. What you can see here is that in ChatGPT, you can mention apps, as you saw. For example, there you have a bunch of different ones. Spotify is just showing, and you can ask these apps, and it directly connects these apps to get answers that are better. It's a new way of interacting with these applications, and I'll get to my point in a second. But yeah, this is quite interesting. We're seeing Zillow here directly integrated into ChatGPT. Browsing properties, and there's a bunch here, and as a developer you can also create connections to ChatGPT in the future. And then the second one here that they've released is AgentKit. Let me read the blog here. This is less interesting, this is more developer oriented, but this is a way for us to build tools for agent workflows that work directly with ChatGPT that allow us, here's some of their builder, so you can connect and create your own AI agents. And what I'll do is I'll go back and go to the top because these animations are pretty nice, and I will stop sharing my screen. And I think the point here, the really interesting point here, is that OpenAI are going really all in on how we interact with software. We've spoken about it at length on the show, as well as just in our personal time when we're working together, about how we think the future of interacting with software is going to be through agent workflows, where you chat in, you can interact with software through natural language. You can ask an agent to go off and do things, and it will then go and interact with another service and come back to you with the result. And I think what we're literally watching in real time is OpenAI agreeing with that sentiment and rolling out these new ways of interacting with software. I think where we fundamentally disagree is that they think it's going to be on their centralized OpenAI platform, whereas I believe the future, and I know you do, and what we're also making bets on, is that this will be local software that you can, or there'll be an option for local software to run and do the same thing. But I think the takeaway, and what's really interesting to me, is to have a big company like OpenAI affirm that vision, or at least what I perceive to be affirming the vision of how we interact with software in the future.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Will. I think there's so many, elements to sort of pick out from these sort of sort of from this direction that we're sort of seeing unfold in front of us. First, I mean, one that just springs to mind is, and we've talked about it, and we know this is happening. You know, it's and you've mentioned it just then. It's going to change the way we interact with the internet, and we interact with looking for things and research and buying products, and obviously it's going to impact big players like Google. You know, we all went on Google to find everything that we needed. And clearly that's a play, you know, that OpenAI are trying to sort of capture. Again, we've talked about this, that actually, you know, we won't be going on to browsers and servers. It will be, you know, just sort of on-device sort of experiences that we, you know, so it'd be less about the brands being discovered on search. It will just be, well, I need a hand to book a flight to this, and the AI, whether it's on device or on the cloud, whichever service you're using, is just going to find the best solution. So the whole, I guess, you know, multiple levels from a marketing perspective, what does that mean for, you know, marketing discoverability? There's huge implications. That thing that you mentioned about that dev tool, that to me jumps out to me as this is the new SEO.
Yeah.
You know, if you 100%. Want your business, your product to be discovered, you need to make sure that, you know, it has this, because guess what? You know, if you ask OpenAI in the future or any other product provider, oh, help me find a XXXY in, you know, in my city, town or country, it'll be the ones that are integrated with this that will be discovered. And that will be even more so, I guess, when it's like local, small, niche players, micro businesses that want to, you know, you want to find a plumber. Well, if your plumbing website is not integrated with, you know, with this, you won't be discovered. But if it is, you'll probably be the first to be discovered. So I guess that there's that side of it in terms of the marketing side, in terms of discoverability, in terms of the way we interact and use the internet. But I think you hit on a fundamental principle and point, which was, you know, this is, you know, we talked about this, didn't we? Like, good few weeks back, talking about how just our experiences of using the internet will change. But you're right, I think it will be a battle between cloud providers, because it's in their interest, because people have to subscribe and all the rest of it. There's no interest in a provider providing a 100% private on-device solution. But you know, we need to be building those things and giving people choice, because our privacy is the number one. And if you guys haven't seen the show from literally yesterday's episode, I'd highly encourage you to watch it, because that was all about privacy and our concerns for what's coming, people, you know, government agencies snooping, enterprise snooping, all the rest of it, and using your data against you. So yeah, that's my take on it. But yeah, really interesting to see, you know, that we're not just mad, and we're not just, you know, like blue sky thinking and like, you know, futurists and just crazy talkers about sci-fi that, oh, this is all crazy, it's all just, that's never going to happen. You know, it does affirm with our thinking of what's going to happen. So that's really 100%. Interesting.
I think one of the points.
Carry on, Will.
No, ask your question. Sorry, ask your question.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's your thoughts in terms of, like, you know, how businesses, micro businesses, are going to have to think about how they approach discoverability and things like that?
Yeah, this was what I was actually going to talk about. So yeah, it's good job you asked. Yeah, my point is that I think as a business coming into this new world, as developers coming into this new world, I think we're going to have to fundamentally think about how software is built, or how your storefront is built if you're just a business owner. I think that it's better now to start thinking about building these integrations slowly, but I think really important, because I think this is clearly where it's going. Google are doing the same thing. All the big players are doing the same thing. We're thinking about doing the same thing and doing the same thing locally. You know, there's a lot of bets being put on this is how we interact with software. And I think you're going to see a lot of winning companies coming out in the wash if they can interact with these, if they can have their product and service link into these other, you know, chatbots, agents, whatever you'd like to call them. If they can link in early, then you're going to have a competitive advantage, because you're going to be one of the first ones that are hooked up, as you saw there. In the promo video for OpenAI, you're seeing Canva in there. You're seeing, Zillow. You're seeing there's various first businesses that are making moves to integrate, because they're obviously also believing in this is how people are going to find and retrieve and interact with their platforms in the future. So I think as a developer, even though they've just announced it, I think they should be thinking about how they can build these integrations now, before everyone is building integrations like this, and your product is not needed anymore, because everyone's just interacting with all software, through agents. So that's my thought, is you're genuinely not going to log on to Canva, or you're not going to log on to Zillow anymore. You're going to log on to whatever service provider has the agent that can do it, and you're going to ask it questions, and the UI will change, and it will, as you saw in the video, the map for Zillow will come up, and various things that you're familiar with each platform will show. But you won't go to Zillow. You'll just go to your agent and ask questions, and it will just integrate with it. So you're going to have a first mover's advantage if you're a business that is creating that integration now, rather than in 18 months when everyone has one. Then you think, oh shit, now I've got to, I should probably think about doing that, because everyone is interacting with it. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating thought.
It is fascinating. But you know what, Will, that really frustrates the hell out of me, is how slow businesses are to actually get a grip. Literally, it's, and the reason I say this is because I'm doing we're working on, on our Avamind app, but the technologies that we're building and the solutions that we're sort of discovering has real enterprise, use cases. So we're testing the market in many respects, trying to speak to enterprises and businesses to see, basically get market validation, saying, right, this is what we think, what do you think? But it just frustrates the hell out of me. They are so behind the curve. It is beyond the pale. It's just mind-blowing that they literally are just almost knowing that they need to do something, thinking that they're doing something, but ultimately they're not. They really are not. And they're not necessarily always wanting to engage. Now, I don't know if that's everyone's sort of protecting their own little moat, their own little, their own corner of whatever enterprise they're working for. Maybe there's a fragmentation of information that's not getting passed to the right people, because there's, again, layers of bureaucracy that you've got to get through to get to the right person. Maybe the right person doesn't even see the communication. So it's really it's surprisingly, it does surprise me, and it frustrates me how there's a lack of real drive. Literally, come on, you want to shake these people up again. Look, if you don't, like you touched on, are you going to be 18 months, 5 years behind your competitors? If one competitor does something, you're going to be way behind. So get a grip, get on it, and actually start taking action, and not just going, oh yeah, we're using ChatGPT, and literally this world is moving at such a pace that you need, whoever it is, you need to really start paying attention, guys. So it honestly, it does surprise. I even heard, which was wild, Michael Saylor, I might have mentioned in another video, was talking to some lawyers in America, I don't know what they're talking about, M&A or mergers and acquisitions or something like that. And the lawyers say, compliance team say we're not allowed to use AI whatsoever. And you just think, that is just wild. You're literally hamstrung your whole team in terms of knowledge, in terms of speed, in terms of efficiency, in terms of capacity. You're literally trying to work in the dark ages. And yet the future is very clearly defined of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So figure out what you need to do if you're worried about compliance. Figure out what you need to do if you're worried about privacy. There are ways around it. You just got to get a grip and get on top of it and start moving forward, because you're going to be left behind. You'll be dead if you don't. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. This has always been the case, though. All through the history of technology, there's always we're right at the forefront, and I think when you're exposed to it, it's far more easy to see these things and these patterns emerging. But quite simply, people just don't hear about them even coming out, or if they do, it's very late in the day. And as you said, often they proceed with caution. I think, as with everything, these shows, these people talking about it, the education is where it starts, and this is going to be no different for technologists, for businesses, for anybody. You need to get educated on where this is going, and what things and what developments are on the horizon, because this is unlike previous technologies, this is very fast moving. I mean, what we're seeing over the course, I feel like a Star Wars, I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What we saw a few years ago with it and what we see today is so vastly different, scarily better. The trajectory is just wild. I mean, one of the toss-ups we were talking about, what we're going to talk about today, is something you sent to me, which was Elon Musk saying about how his Grok AI will be able to produce full-length movies before the end of the year, and watchable, decent movies by 2027. And now he's a bit known for speaking a lot of hot air as well. So whether or not it will come by the end of the year is another thing. But I think the sentiment is true. That's coming as well. It's so fast moving. I'm inclined to believe him. So it's
let's be real. Be real. If it's not this year, if it's not next year, it'll be at some point. It's happening. So the timeline might be slightly out, but it is happening.
It's a new frontier for everything, every industry. It's other than maybe some delegated physical jobs, trades and things like that. It's a new industry for a huge percentage of people that are coming to everything. So knowledge, I think, research, learning, educating yourself before implementation, but then getting on with implementation pretty quickly, I think is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reality is it's gonna happen. A lot of people are gonna get left behind, and it'll be too late.
That is the way, though. That's the way with technology, and that's how companies win and they lose. You have to have winners and losers. So it's the way it happens. But be part of the winning side.
On a positive note, boom. Yes, that's awesome. Well, listen, Will, anything more to add? Should we wrap it up?
I'm happy to wrap it up. I think we summarized it very well. Check out the stuff on OpenAI's DevDay. They're releasing stuff every day. It is really interesting, and it's an insight into where these companies think stuff is going. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating to watch it unfold and these new advancements coming out.
100%. Listen, guys, really appreciate if you're still here. Say hi in the comments, and let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any topics that you want us to talk about. Again, we want to engage with you, engage with our community, and build this show together. 100%. So hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care for now.
Cheers, guys.